Here we go, folks. We are on chapter 3. I just want to say again that the author, Gordon Korman, along with the publisher, Scholastic, and the company Recorded Books, granted me permission to read these online for you guys. So I want to give all credit to them. Thank you so much. So chapter 3 is titled Chase Ambrose. Let's talk about what we know so far, right? We know that Chase is one of the main characters, and he fell off a roof and got amnesia, temporary amnesia. He can't really remember who he was before. We do know, though, that maybe he wasn't liked so much because chapter 2, which was all about Shoshana and Joel Weber, the twins, the brother Joel, who Chase kept on tormenting along with his friends Aaron and Bear. They tormented him so much, they put the cherry bomb in the piano, it blew up. He was so distraught, Joel, that he had to get sent to a new school. So clearly we know that Shoshana does not like Chase, based on the fact that she kind of said some mean words to him and dumped her frozen yogurt on his head and just stormed out of the frozen yogurt shop. We also know that Shoshana calls them or refers to Chase, Bear, and Aaron as the alpha rat and gamma and beta. I wanted to explain to you guys that, like, alpha, you might have heard that term before. Alpha is actually the Greek letter for A, but when you hear a term like alpha dog, alpha, that usually means like the leader of the pack. So Shoshana is referring to Chase as the alpha rat, the leader of the pack, and then Chase and Bear and Aaron are the gamma and the beta, which means they're kind of like the side guys, but Chase is really like the ringleader. He's in charge. So now we're back to chapter 3, and this is being told now from Chase Ambrose's point of view. So I am reading as Chase. So here we go. I recognize the school, not because I remember it. It's just that Mom drove me by here a few times over the last couple of weeks to make sure I'd be sort of familiar with the place. It's called Hiawatha Middle School, and it turns out I'm the star of just about every team we have, or X-star. Until further notice, I'm on the disabled list. I get this information from my mother on the drive to my first day of 8th grade. Okay, so we're learning a little bit more. They're in 8th grade, so they're middle school. A few years older than you guys, but you can relate, I'm sure, to a lot of the stuff that's going to go on in this story. It's just the two of us now since Johnny's back at college. Mom's trying to fill me in on my former life so I won't be caught by surprise. Like when that psycho girl dumped frozen yogurt on my head. He thinks she's psycho. Funny, she was sympathetic when I told her about it, but she didn't seem very surprised. Like we live in a town where people attack each other with desserts all the time? Oh, she replied airily. Young girls can be oversensitive, especially with a popular athlete. She smiles at you, you don't smile back, she takes it personally. But I did smile. She's the one who didn't. She went straight for the yogurt. She rolled her eyes. What do you want me to say, honey? I don't even know who this mystery yogurt bomber is. Here's the thing. I think she did know. Or at least she could make a pretty good guess. Why would she hold that back? It wasn't like those first days out of the hospital when she was a stranger to me, and I must have seemed plenty unfamiliar to her. Now, as we pull to the curb in front of the school, she's pumping me up with details like names of friends and teachers I get along with. Yet I still can't shake the impression that there's something being left unsaid. But, I prompt, she reddens. But what? I put it to her. Tell me the part you're leaving out. 13 years is a long time, Chase. There's no way I can fill all that empty space for you while we're parked at the side of the road on the first day of school. You're going to hear things about yourself, good and bad, that might surprise you. Just keep your cool, okay? Now, what's that supposed to mean? I asked. She answered, and now I know even less than I did before. Her face is the color of an overripe tomato, so clearly her face is red. Right? So that indicates how she's feeling. Maybe she's getting really nervous. She doesn't want to tell Chase everything that he's asking about. Wait till you see. I don't push it. I'll find out soon enough. There are hundreds of kids pouring in the front entrance. Everybody seems to know everybody else. Back slaps and high fives everywhere. Several of them fly in my direction, and I smack hands, bump fists, and try to look like I belong. Which I definitely don't. I also get some strange looks, and a few kids meet my eyes and then furtively look away. It's a good word, furtively. I'm guessing this has to do with the scrape on my face and my immobilized arm and shoulder. Mom warned me that a lot of people probably heard about my accident, but nobody knows the amnesia part. I have to get ready to explain that to a lot of friends who can't figure out why I don't recognize them. The teachers and staff had to be told, of course. It's our boy! A single bellow rises above the general chatter as soon as I enter the building. I don't know the kid, but I'm willing to bet he's one of my football buddies, judging by the size of him. From out of the hubbub of the foyer, guys who are almost as big as are converging on me, slapping at me and calling me their boy. Guys, not the shoulder. My mind is reeling. How am I going to explain to this welcoming crowd that I haven't got the faintest idea who any of them are? I start to feel a little dizzy. Chase! 2 more football players elbow their way to my side. To my surprise, I actually recognize this pair. They're the guys from the pumpkin smashing picture on my phone. Mom pointed them out in my lacrosse team photo as Aaron and Bear. Apparently, they're my best friends. Yep. See, alpha, gamma, beta, rat. Dude, good to have you back, barks Aaron, the taller of the two. In person, he has the closest thing to a full beard I've ever seen on a middle schooler. We tried to come by, but your mom said you were on bed rest. Yeah, I can't believe you're here, chimes in one of the other guys. Didn't you jump off the clock tower on the village green? Bear whaps him hard across the face. He jumped off his roof, moron. If he jumped off the clock tower, he'd be dead. He didn't jump. He fell. Who'd be stupid enough to jump off a roof, Aaron adds. This was pretty stupid too, I admit, a little taken aback by that full face smash and the fact that the kid on the receiving end didn't seem to mind it. I can't remember what I was thinking. In fact, you guys, to be honest, the slappy cuts me off. But you're going to be healed up in time for football season, right? You'll be ready for our first game. The doctor says, no, it's my shoulder, but mostly it's the concussion. I can't risk taking a headshot so soon after the accident. A howl of protest greets this announcement, right? When you protest against something, boys and girls, you're against it. So clearly all these football buddies of his, they're upset. They're against the fact that the doctor said you can't play football this year. But we need you. You're our leading scorer, the best player, our captain. Cut it out, you guys, Aaron orders. Injuries are a part of the game. We all know that. To me, he adds, listen, man, we have to talk to you. He heads out of the foyer to an inner atrium with hallways leading off it. We have no problem navigating the dense crowd. My 2 best friends just push people out of the way. Most kids see the 3 of us and they clear out on their own. So what does that tell you about them, right? These 3 boys are walking through the hallways and people are literally like moving out of the way because they see them. So think about what that means. They lead me to a bench along the wall. Are these seats taken? I ask a youngish boy, maybe a 6th grader. Before he can answer, Bear rumbles, they are now. The kid scrambles down the hall, propelled by a hefty shove. I sit down with my fellow pumpkin smashers. Before they can say anything, I burst out with Aaron, Bear. The names are unfamiliar on my tongue, like I've never spoken them before. I've got to tell you something. When I fell off that roof, I got more than a concussion and a sprained shoulder. I got amnesia too. Bear frowns. Amnesia? You mean you forget stuff? I shake my head sadly. Worse. I forgot everything, like my whole life before I fell. I motion around. The school, these people, all new to me. I wouldn't even know you guys except your pictures are on my phone. As it is, I don't remember anything about us. I know we're friends because my mother said so, but everything we did together, that's gone. I catch them eyeing each other like they don't believe me. It makes me mad until I consider how I'd react if a longtime friend told me the same thing. Here I am, the kid they've known all their lives. I look the same, talk the same, and I'm telling them that all our history is completely wiped out. I don't blame them for thinking I'm joking. It is a joke, just not a funny one. I speak again. No, it's not you guys. Think how it feels to see some random stranger instead of your own mother, your brother, your dad. And trust me, I'm not loving the thought of dealing with 800 kids in this school who think I'm dissing them because I can't remember who they are. Bear stares at me hard. Wait, you're not kidding, are you? I wish, I say fervently. He's stunned. Wow. Aaron leans forward, practically into my face. Yeah, but your memory is going to come back, right? There's an urgency in his voice. He must really hate it that I'm missing out on the good old days. Some of it, maybe, I reply, but also maybe not. The doctor says it's impossible to know. They look at each other again, and there's no mistaking how freaked out they are. I feel a surge of warmth toward these two, my best friends. I have a giddy vision of my phone screen, the three of us brandishing the baseball bat with the ruined jack-o'-lantern. The good times. Guys, I try to reason with them. I'm still me, even if I don't remember the stuff we did together. We'll do new stuff, better stuff. Oh, yeah, totally, Bear exclaims. And if you can't play football, you'll be good for lacrosse in the spring, right? The doctor said I should be okay by then, although we'll have to see. There you go, he sounds upbeat, although I'm pretty sure he's faking it. This can't be an easy thing to process. If I wasn't the one with amnesia, I don't know if I could accept myself. We're here for you, man, Aaron adds, slapping my back and sending a jolt of fire through my separated shoulder. I swallow an angry warning, one step at a time. Welcome back, boys, a deep voice intones. A tall man in a charcoal gray suit approaches our bench. Chase? I'm Dr. Fitzwallace, your principal. I thought I'd reintroduce myself under the circumstances. We've met before, of course. A strangled, "You can say that again," comes from Bear. The principal silences him with a single look through steel-rimmed glasses. Chase, come with me. Let's have a chat. My friends are already slouching off down the hall, so I follow the principal into his office. On the large wall are 2 framed photographs, and I'm surprised when I identify one of them. It's on my wall, too, part of a newspaper clipping about our football championship last year. It's me, helmet pushed onto the back of my head, hoisting the trophy. The other is similar, although you can tell it's a lot older. The pose is almost identical, a young player raising the same trophy. I can't explain it, but the kid looks sort of familiar. But that's crazy. How can I recognize him? I don't recognize anybody. Dr. Fitzwallace is watching me. That's your father, our only other win at state back when he was your age. Wow, no wonder Dad calls me champ. I should call him champ too. I tell the principal, I didn't know he won state. I mean, I'm sure I knew at some point. That's exactly what I'd like to talk to you about. Have a seat, Chase. Dr. Fitzwallace waves me into the chair. I have to confess, this is a first for me. I've never had a student suffer amnesia before. It must be very upsetting for you, even a little frightening. It's pretty weird, I admit. Not remembering anybody, it's like I'm surrounded by all these people, but I'm still alone. The principal sits down behind the desk. I hope we can make this situation a little easier on you. I've alerted all the teachers and support staff, so we're ready for you. If you have any issues, just have whoever is involved get in touch with me. I thank him because that's what he seems to expect me to do. One more thing. He leans back in his chair, and when he speaks again, it's slowly and carefully, as if he's trying to get his words exactly right. This is an awful thing that's happened to you, but it's also presenting you with a rare opportunity. You have the chance to rebuild yourself from the ground up to make a completely fresh start. Don't squander it. I'm sure you're not feeling very lucky, but there are millions of people who'd give anything to stand where you stand right now, in front of a completely blank canvas. I stare back at my principal. What is he talking about? I'm struggling to discover the person I was, and he wants me to change? What was so wrong about the old me that now I have to be somebody else? Oh, that was great. So that's the end of chapter 3, ladies and gentlemen. So I am going to post some quick comprehension questions and some vocabulary in the description section. And if you'd like to maybe jot them down, and you can show them to me when we return back to school, and I would be happy to, reward you with something a little special for going above and beyond. Okay? All right. Bye.